Hello and welcome to the Thursday live stream. Without further delay, let's take a look at our 2 sessions. And for those who are new, my name is Igor and this is the channel where we built most of the time recently our Agentic IDE, the Agentic IDE of 2026. This is our goal. And why this is an Agentic IDE? It is because it combines 2 worlds, join them together. So one of them is the agentic coding area. That's exactly what you are looking at now. This is an agentic coding area of the Shikigami project. That's the name of the application. And there is also an editor area. Let me show you. This is a different project. We worked on that project last time, and we work on it from time to time. And this is an open source leaf absences planner for small and medium teams. And the IDE, that's exactly the case. So this is the editor area where you can code manually, or you can preview changes that agents are applying on your code base. And we are working on providing a much better PHP support for the PHP language. That means that we, for a few sessions, we worked on a custom LSP that is built in the application. You can enable it if you want. All you have to do is go to settings, then workspace, programming languages, and you can enable PHP LSP. And that means that the project will be indexed for you, because then based on that the application provides some functions that are typical to IDEs. For example, going to a class or an enum or whatever by referencing it with a command button or control button and the left mouse button click. So that's why this is an Agentic IDE. So we have 2 areas that are covered, that covers the application. So multiple agent sessions and code base editor. And of course, it doesn't have to be a code base. It can be whatever you are working on. If you work on a, for example, some financial data. Okay, let's wait a second. I think the connection was lost. Okay, you should see me now, I guess. Okay, the live is running. Okay, so what I was saying, yeah. So 2 worlds, agentic coding and the editor, which provides you a preview, a classic IDE experience as well. So these 2 things. And what agents are supported at the moment? 3 agents. Claude code, that's the one that I use the most because I like it. Then there is codex, support for codex agents, and support for opencode. So 3 agents that the application supports. 2 of these functionalities, so one for codex and the second one for the Claude code, are the most rich ones, because that also provides notifications when there is a change in state of an agent. So for example, agent is working on something, or is idling, or is waiting for your input. Then for codex and for Claude code, you will receive notifications, OS based notifications. So if you're like, for example, me, I work on a macOS. So if you work on macOS, then you should see a notification bubble coming from the top right corner. Yeah, and then for the Linux, I don't remember how Linux presents them. Maybe, as far as I remember, that's the top bar notification. There is something like that. So, but anyway, this is available for codex and Claude, and the opencode for now only. This is the first iteration of the opencode support that is within the version 0.35, and that is only support for managing suspend. Managing the life cycle, like suspend and resume. No notifications at the moment, but we will improve that in the future. So anyway, last time we worked on, let me show you. So this is our board. This is the board where we track progress of the development, and we manage, of course, bugs if there are any, and then we manage the the overall development of the application. So okay, let's take a look at it. So there are two things in the manual verification. I've checked them. So one of them is the support for the Python syntax. Of course, it was before we started working on it, there was a support for the Python syntax because this is built in the Monaco editor. That's what I use in Shikigami, but we provided better syntax coloration, and that will be released today, and as well files tree, an improvement for the files tree component in the editor area. Whenever you modify the file or you edit a file, the only indication that something was modified or added by looking at the files tree was at the end of the files tree item row with a letter. Now, once we release 0.36, there will be also a color indicator on the label of a file, basically the file name. And there are three things in progress. On two of them I worked off stream, so this is the architecture audit, because what I want to make sure is the overall quality of the code that needs to be as high as possible, because we want to maintain the application in the long run. It's not only about building something, shipping and releasing right away. It's more about being consistent during live streams or off streams and build a nice code that not only agents will understand. So that is the goal, and I work on it off stream. Then the PHP LSP, this is still an ongoing effort. And the third thing is the thing that we worked on last time. So let's take a look. This is the drag and drop files, and it looks like this is ready to be merged. Yeah, so we have to rebase. Once we rebase, we can then merge it into the main local branch. And there is a documentation ready. Yeah, so the spec is ready, and then based on the spec, we've prepared a plan for the images support in the MD files. Because now, let me show you. If we open a README, for example, README of the Who's Out of Office, and then we switch to the preview mode, then images are not visible, so we want to render them. And as far as I remember, we've also included a switch. Let me check if it mentioned it here. Maybe not, but as I remember, there was a requirement to provide a global switch for that. Yeah, settings key, exactly. Okay, so that means that the drag and drop agent, we can ask to rebase. Let me check the stream health. Okay, I think it is okay, because I received a notification that I'm offline, but I guess that's not the case. By the way, you can let me know, chat, if you are here. I see there are two people. Please let me know if you can hear me well, because I've moved my microphone a bit more to the center. It used to be more on the left, but it wasn't comfortable for me, so I moved more to the front, in front of me. And please let me know if you can still hear me well. So okay, let's start working. Let's do some work today. If that feature is ready, I want you to rebase onto the local main branch and then merge changes into the local main branch. Okay, so that's basically what we want to do, because there were other changes in the meantime, since we've created a work tree and started working on the drag and drop functionality. So now we have to rebase, and then we can safely merge it. If there are conflicts, let's see, but if there are any, then we will ask the agent to resolve them. Okay, and now the MD files improvement. Let me read it one more time. I am not sure if that was reviewed. Let's run review on it to make sure that everything is fine with the implementation plan. I want you to run code review and architecture review on the implementation plan file. Okay. Okay, there are some conflicts as I can see, but maybe Agent will be capable of resolving them on its own. Let's see. And maybe let's take a look at the PHP LSP. There is a document. A document where we document progress on it. So let's ask Agent to read it and verify if everything is there. And if not, then what is the next step? Okay, I've opened my notes, and as far as I can see, that's not everything. Okay. Let me check if the PHP support document is available. Okay, and then maybe LSP as well. Okay. Yeah, we have a couple of documents. Okay. Please read those two documents and please verify what is the state of the PHP LSP support. Some misunderstanding. Why is it? Okay. Okay, good. Okay, and so we have these three agents. And last time we started working on a feature in the Who is Out of Office project. Okay, let me close that. Do we have a branch for that? Audit trail. Okay, since we have a work tree, do we have? Let me verify. Okay, we have a work tree for the audit trail feature. So let's initialize an agent there and let's ask it to read what is the state of the implementation. I think the last thing we did, I think was the, I think we've created an implementation plan, but let's verify that. Okay, there is a plan, but let's ask it to read it one more time and verify if there are no open questions in this document. Please read the file and let me know if there are any open questions. Okay, sorry for that. These are end-to-end tests, so I guess the agent that rebased onto the local main branch is now running end-to-end suite to verify that everything works as expected, so let's give it some time. Yeah, but here we can see clearly that everything or almost everything that we work on, any feature or any bug that we uncover, then we also cover it with unit tests and end-to-end tests to be sure, or to be as sure as possible that everything what we add to the code base or whatever we modify in the existing features doesn't break the whole application. And this is also a recommendation for you guys. This is a recommendation for you if you work on a project, if you start a new project, maybe defining rules, architecture rules and design rules, especially those that you can cover with tests, should be, I guess, and I recommend that should be the first step. You can ask agents or an agent to run sub-agents to verify what are best practices within the framework that you are using, and then based on that you can ask it to prepare tests. And then whenever you work on something, you can as well ask your agents to follow test-driven development, to make sure that first they create tests that will most likely fail, and then based on that they start working on the either business logic or maybe some UI changes, and then end-to-end tests are helpful to make sure that UI and behavior is correct. Okay, these were end-to-end tests run by the PHP LSP implementer. Let's take a look at it. Okay, now the drag and drop agent is running tests. Let's give them some time, and anyway, I would like to invite you to our Discord server. The link is in the description. You can find me there, and if you use Shikigami, then you can let me know what is your opinion about it, and if you face any issues you can as well ping me there and let me know what the issue is, because let me remind you, the application doesn't contain any telemetry that will collect logs for my usage, to understand better how you use it. I don't care really how you use the application, it's really up to you, but I would like to hear if you like it, and if there is something that is missing as well, you can let me know either via Discord server or on LinkedIn. You can find me there as well, but please, if you try to reach me, then please add a note that you came from Shikigami, from the YouTube channel or whatever, so then I will understand better that what is your intention, because sometimes random people send me invitations and I cannot judge what they want from me. Okay, and let me as well share, while agents are running tests, I'm gonna share that we are live in our Discord server. We even have tests for the opencode, as you can see, but my local llama doesn't work, so it cannot connect. And if you tried opencode, please let me know how it works, because I tried to run it locally and unfortunately it was very slow. I think I will find some time to try it running on a different machine and then connect over localhost, but I didn't have time to do so. Not yet, at least. But if you tried, please let me know in the comment section, or if you watch it live, then in the chat, because there might be that I'm doing something wrong. Oops, sorry for that. Okay. Okay, this is the board for the who's out of office, and I moved into progress the carryover, the leave balance ledger and the carryover mechanism. I'm not sure if the end-to-end tests are done, maybe not. Let's wait a bit. Okay, that one. The sub-agent was testing everything. Okay, and then drag and drop that needs input. What does it mean? I guess this is... It runs end-to-end tests as well, but maybe from a different angle. Well, if this is well tested and test will be green and no issues, I think we're gonna merge that as well into the main and release it today. Okay, so the background end-to-end test, full end-to-end tests run. This is done. Okay, let's wait a bit more. So let's take a look at the who's out of office now. Okay. More tests, okay. I'm gonna stop that because I don't want to. Let me check if I can. Okay, I can. So you know what, that if this is ready, because it means that this is ready. Okay, that was merged into the local main, so I'm gonna run the full end-to-end suite before the release. It doesn't make sense to do it now. So let me suspend this guy. Then, okay, this is in the... Okay, there is a question. Let me take a look. Let's ask it for some explanation and the recommended option. Please explain in simple words every option and please keep it to the point. I think not only me noticed that Claude started, or at least Opus, started returning output in some different way. For me, these sentences are much more complex than they used to be. I don't know. I believe they work all the time on the model and they update it from time to time. But that changed, I don't know, 2 weeks ago or something like that. Maybe they roll out updates regionally, maybe not, that I don't know that. But anyway, I've noticed that sometimes it is hard to understand what the model, what agent and the model are trying to say. Okay, let me do it this way. Regarding question number 1, I want you to not follow redirects. If something isn't available, then it isn't available, and that's it. Regarding the question number 2, don't change that. I don't want to change the current implementation. Well, I'm not sure if the instruction to not follow redirects is right. We can always change that. But for now there are no images, and that makes the content harder to read. So if we add at least the first level of requests, then I guess this is fine. And then let's see how it behaves. Maybe we can change that in the future. Let's see. But let me ask it. Is there a case that a CDN will return a redirect response to the image source? If that's the case, then maybe you can follow one level. Okay, so my feeling was correct. So if that's the case, Okay, if that's the case, then let's allow one level of redirection. Okay, now let's take a look at the PHP LSP. There is a specific question I would like to ask it. Let me open the editor. And yeah, by the way, if you would like to enable the PHP LSP, please go to the settings, top right corner, then programming languages, and here you can enable the PHP support. Please provide a source root if the PHP project is not in the root of your repository, and if something changed, you can always invalidate the cache. Let me do it now. So once you do that, then it may be hard for you to see, but at the bottom bar there is a progress on indexing with the total number of files. And once you do that, then some of the classes should be available and the enums should be available for you to take a look at the definition. And not only for your code base, but also for vendors. But that's of course not the whole, that's like not the end of features that we want to have in the LSP. And specifically, what I really would like to have is looking for usages of a method. Now I try to click on it and nothing happened. So let me take a screenshot. And somewhere here, I would like to have number of usages, like a small annotation. And then once you click on it, okay, so sorry, there are two things. So number of usages, that's one, and the other one is no, not like that. Sorry, the other direction. Yeah, if I click on the name, so left CMD plus left mouse button. So if I click on it, then I would like to have a short list. Sorry, not a short list, but a list of places where that method, that function was used or is used actually. So let me put it here and ask the agent for the clarification if we didn't include that in the initial plan, or maybe there is other document that describes that these two requirements. Please take a look at the screenshot, and I want you to verify if we have a plan to implement number of usages that will be a small annotation rendered above a function name. And the second thing, do we have a support for looking for usages of a function by clicking on it with a CMD button and the left mouse button? Well, I guess this is clear. Let's wait for a response, and let's take a look at who is out of office in the meantime. Hello chat, sorry, I missed your message. Good to see you. How is it going? Yeah, I'm good. Thank you for asking. And I'm happy that all is good on your end as well. Okay, when I read the list, I have a feeling that this feature is a bit complex, and maybe we can split it into two instead of shipping everything at once, especially that I am not quite sure what to do with the requirement number 3. This is somewhat resolved, but not exactly. So what happens if there is an absence in December and it was rejected in January? Well, I believe that won't happen. But if, then what to do with the balance? Okay, let's start answering. So the first one. I want it to be configurable in the application settings. If there is a date provided when a user needs to use all days that were assigned in the previous year or not. Sorry, let me take a look. If not, then there is no strict policy. Okay, then number 2. Okay, that one I don't really understand, or I'm not quite sure, so please explain that one in simple words, and also please provide an example. Okay, so that is number 2. Let's take a look at number 3. I don't think we will have a case that somebody waits for such a long time to receive an answer. Instead, I would recommend to create a follow-up ticket to extend the auto-approve mechanism. If auto-approve is disabled, then there should be a hard limit to approve or not approve a request, and if the time elapsed, then a request will be cancelled by the application. Okay, so this is number 3. Now number 4. At the moment there is no way to have a negative balance. Let's skip that. Okay, then 5. from my perspective, if someone modifies an annual leave allowance for the current year, it won't be applied. It only will be used in the next round of resets for the leave days. Okay. Okay, and if the user will be deleted, well, in a normal scenario and in a usual flow, a user will be blocked, not really deleted from the database. So that's not an issue. Okay, and now 7. Okay, I guess 7 is as well some. This isn't an existing issue, so not an issue. And 8, please update the task document. Okay, let's give it some time. Let's take a look at the Shikigami. What is the state here? Okay, so the plan is ready. Is it ready for the implementation then? Okay, and now the PHP LSP, let's take a look. Okay, so there is no plan for a usage count annotation. If that's the case, let me copy that and I'm gonna create a ticket. We will work on it next time, I guess. So the PHP LSP. Usage count annotation. Okay, good. And then what about command and the left mouse button click? Okay. Okay, so the project index doesn't carry method level references. Actually, that's the most important part from all this output. Okay, if that's the case, then the first first thing, let's forget about it for now, and let's focus on the requirement number 2. Let's start from a brainstorming session if this is required, and let's prepare a specification file. And as well, there is a missing functionality for interfaces. So what I would like to add as well, as soon as possible, is a functionality that you click on interface methods, and then you go to a class that implements that, and you can go to a function. Actually, if there is more than one class that implements it, that should also be included as an annotation. And if you click with a command and the left mouse button, then there should be maybe a kind of a pop-up, a model box, and then you can decide to what class you want to go. Okay, and let me take a look at the MD files improvement. Okay, we don't have to re-review this. No, let's not re-review. I want you to now start a sub-agent-driven implementation, and please make sure that agents follow test-driven development. Okay, so we have a dedicated work tree, and we've started working on the improvement for the MD files preview. And now the PHP LSP, let me take a look. Either I'm a bit tired, or that doesn't make sense. So which failure would annoy you more? What does it mean, which failure? Let's chat about it. What do you mean by failures? Okay, now I understood better. So included in the usages list should be only things that the LSP and the application is 100% sure that that's the usage. Well, maybe in the future we can extend it to some framework specific cases, like if you take something from the container, like in Symfony, for example, you take something from the container right away, you don't inject it to a constructor, but you take it from, you call get container, and then you get something, but that will be hard to understand, but let's see. Actually, this is a good question, and I guess about that one we can chat. My expectation is that if a class implements an interface, I click on a function that is declared in an interface with CMD and the left mouse button, then I will be taken to the interface, and then from the interface I can verify if there is a usage and where is it located. Let's wait a second. Does it make sense? No, wait. Please show me options one more time. Okay, it makes sense. Okay, it makes total sense. I was wrong. So if we click here, then I would like to see usages of that specific class. So that one, I should see that one. Let me verify that. Okay, I guess it makes sense. Well, I don't believe that no one will no one will notice that for a full year there is an issue with a cron. But let me read it. Well, let's not think about it too much. Well, I guess the application shouldn't care that much if a consumer is down for some reason. That's why applications should have a monitoring and logging to understand, and then based on that as well an alerting system. So that's the responsibility of a developer or a person that deployed it. Okay, let's give it some time to process it. And how about the Shikigami? Okay, so for now, let's limit the vendor methods to our code base, so the project only. Yeah, let's keep it like this. This is the first iteration of this feature, so let's keep it more simple. Please explain me these options in simple words, and also what are the implications in terms of security impact on these. Okay, please commit these changes and let me know if there is any information about review that we run on that plan. Okay, the recommendation is to check every hop. Let's do it. And let's verify then. Once we merge that, I will verify if this has a significant impact on the application's performance. If not, then we can keep it. If yes, then I will try to find a different solution for it. Okay, and this is a specification, but this is a more like a specification, like an initial specification. So based on that, we should have a more detailed design Okay, but there are there's a question. Let me take a look. Well, in this case, I would like to resolve everything at index time. It might take a longer time, but nobody said that indexing will happen instantly. I want you to implement the option A. I want to have a full indexing happening, and once we merge it into the main branch and during tests on a real code base, I will verify how much time does it take, and if this is something we can accept or not. Okay, well, dear viewers, dear friends, this is over now an hour of the live stream. Okay, I will read that off stream. What is happening here? There is a review. Okay, good. So it looks like one more thing will be included in the release today. So what you can expect, the drag and drop for files into the files tree, so you can do it from a Finder or whatever Explorer application you use in your system, and you will be able to move files from another window to the files tree. That's not the case now. You cannot do it. So that is the one thing. Then the Python syntax improvement, because already there is some coloration happening, but I've improved that with additional tokens for types, for functions, definitions of functions. And there was also a kind of a bug. I missed that with applying color on files tree items. So now whenever something will be modified by you or added to as a new file, or added but not yet staged in the Git changes, then the whole file name and the extension will be covered with a color. So now it gives you better overview on what you are about to commit or what you are about to push. And okay, there is a question about PHP LSP, but I will take a look at it off stream. So that's it for today. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining the session. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. And also let me remind you, there is a Discord server. The link is in the description. I strongly encourage you to join, especially if you use the application. You can find me there and you can let me know if you like it. And if there is something you don't like, I would like to hear it as well, because the end goal is to make the application better and provide better IDE experience, and as well the agentic coding as well, especially if you orchestrate more than one agent sessions. And let me also remind you, there is a new thing that we added recently. If you have multiple sessions, like in this case, and let's imagine that there is an implementer, there is an agent that is caring about implementation. So let's create one just for testing purposes. Yeah, this can be codex, doesn't matter really. Okay, so we have one agent that is acting as a supervisor of a feature development, and to reduce cost, you decided that you want to have a cheaper model that will implement based on on a plan that you've created with a different agent. So now what you can do, you can ask the agent, the supervisor, to provide a handoff prompt for you. Then you click on a forward icon and the handoff prompt will be rendered here. In the preview, under day response, so there is a day response indicator, a separator, and below it there is a content of that response, the last response from an agent. And then all you have to do is to choose where to send it. So send from PHP LSP, that's the name of an agent. Let's send it to the implementer. You can add an additional note on top of it, something like, please read and start working on it. And then you can as well include the initial prompt, but that's not useful every time. In most cases, I guess you will not include it. Then this is the preview. Click send and the handoff prompt will be copied. You can take a look at it one more time. If there is more lines, probably you won't see it, because then the content will be compressed into a shortcut. So then you cannot really see it. But if this isn't a long message, then you can preview it like you can see it now. And then all you have to do is to just hit enter, and the agent will start working on whatever there is. And you can send as well responses to the supervisor if you have multiple agents there, and there is one supervisor and 3 agents that are working on implementations or something else. Then you can as well send messages to them. Maybe in the future we will automate it by adding a supervisor agent on top of agents, on top of a workspace. Let's see. It depends on popularity of the application and the community, and as well feature requests, if there will be any. Okay, so that's it for today. Thank you for joining. Have a nice day, have a nice evening. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and especially if you haven't already, please do so. And see you next time, in 2 days maybe. Let's see. That's it for now. Thank you. Bye bye.